Now at 5, why Jasper County has not yet implemented a state program to freeze property taxes for some senior citizens. Plus, the city of Girard is using grant funds to revitalize its downtown. And
former President Trump claims the latest push behind the federal 2020 election interference case against him is a political hoax. I'm Skyler Henry in Washington detailing the pared down indictment.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A law goes into effect today that could freeze property taxes for some Missouri residents. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Jasper County has not yet implemented that program. The tax freeze is up to individual counties to implement, but the wording of the initial bill left many Missouri county officials confused. Today's law clarifies an age requirement of 62 years for participants, when the initial 2023 bill said those who qualify for Social Security could apply. That excluded people such as teachers and some federal employees who don't pay into that retirement. Jasper County officials say they're having discussions about the county implementing the tax freeze, but they wanted to wait until they saw the clarification and saw what other counties did.
We'll take a hard look at it. I don't think anybody in this courthouse is opposed to the tax credit for seniors. I'm certainly not. But you've got to work your way through it and do certain things that maintain the standards of integrity that the taxpayers would demand.
Several Jasper County residents have expressed a desire for the county to implement the program, with some signing a petition. The county collector warns that even if the county does decide to implement the tax freeze, it would take some time to get set up and for people to actually see any results. Girard, Kansas is in the process of revitalizing their town square through various grant initiatives. They have a list of ideas to implement into their vacant spaces at the square, including a stage for concerts and a park. They hope the revitalization of the square will encourage tourism and community members to stay in Carthage or Girard.
We're hoping that this will bring in some just new blood, new visitors, tourists coming in through some of the projects that we've been able to do through Main Street and through the Chamber, helping businesses once get established and then also to grow.
Through Network Kansas, the Girard Chamber of Commerce is offering a Pitch Your Porch program where businesses can apply for grants to make upgrades to the front of their business. Another hot one out there. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us.
Yeah, temperatures once again, most of us into the upper 90s for afternoon highs, and that's where we are sitting right now. It's 97 in Joplin, Pittsburgh, sitting at 95 degrees. Just about everybody well into the 90s. Now, where there are some clouds and a few isolated storms, temperatures just a hair cooler, but you can see our heat index right around 100 degrees as well. Now, it's going to be another hot one as we go into Thursday. Temperatures again mid to upper 90s, but we do have a cold front. It's going to slide in on Friday. It's going to give us some rain chances, and our afternoon highs drop by about 10 to 12 degrees, which is definitely kind of nice. A few isolated little thunderstorms out there this evening. Most of these kind of along and south of I-44, but a few hit and miss storms. These will die down once we lose the heating of the day, but better rain chances down the road. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. Never before seen video has been released showing Nancy Pelosi responding to the January 6th insurrection as she's evacuated from the Capitol. It comes just hours after former President Donald Trump was indicted on revised charges relating to allegations he tried to overturn the 2020 election. Skyler Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
On social media, former President Donald Trump claimed election interference after special counsel Jack Smith filed a revised indictment against him Tuesday, with less than 10 weeks before Election Day. The slimmed-down indictment still charges that Trump engaged in a conspiracy to hold on to power and to overturn the results of the 2020 election. But it is pared down to comply with the Supreme Court's July ruling that presidents have broad immunity for official acts.
Some of the evidence, like some of the communications between the president and the Department of Justice, that would have been marshaled in support or was marshaled in support in the initial indictment, is no longer on the table.
Trump has long claimed he did nothing wrong.
This is a persecution of a political opponent.
A source close to Trump's legal team tells CBS News, quote, "This was not a surprise. It doesn't change our position that we believe Smith's case is flawed." The source went on to say that Trump's lawyers will soon ask for an extension. to brief the case. A day after the indictment comes never-before-released documentary footage from January 6th and the days after.
Patrolling the National Guard. Now, should have been here to start out.
Some was recorded as then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was being evacuated from the Capitol. The footage was turned over to Congress by HBO and obtained by CBS News. It also includes Pelosi calling Trump a domestic enemy in the White House during a meeting with her staff. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Pelosi is also heard talking about launching an impeachment of Trump. Vice President Kamala Harris is hitting the campaign trail for the first time since accepting her party's presidential nomination at last week's Democratic National Convention. She and her running mate, Tim Walz, are in the key battleground state of Georgia. New CBS News polling shows Harris and former President Donald Trump are tied in the Peach State. Still ahead, thinking of the adults.
The U.S. Surgeon General confirms what parents already know. Having kids is stressful. I'm Bradley Blackburn with why the nation's top doctor says society needs to do more to help for the health of parents and their kids.
Plus, a local dietitian talks about the benefits of buying and eating locally sourced produce. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, it seems eating local is not only healthy for you, but it also supports local farmers. A local farmer we spoke with says he only grass feeds his animals and says everyone should have access to a nutritionally dense food source. A local dietitian also says kids are more likely to eat healthier if they start early. We're going to have more advice tonight at 6. A drug maker is slashing the price of its weight loss drug in order to make it more accessible. Eli Lilly announced it'll send and sell single-use vials of its injectable weight loss drug Zepbound at a 50% or larger discount compared to the cost of other obesity drugs. Patients can buy the vials at the company's Lilly Direct website with a valid prescription.
This is a new move by pharmaceutical companies to sell prescription medication directly to consumers. Now, you still do need a prescription from a clinician, doctor, or other kind of clinician, for an FDA-approved indication in order to fill a prescription. But it is a new move to directly market, to directly sell to consumers.
Dr. Gounder says the lower-cost drug should be available to consumers immediately. The nation's top doctor is warning about an epidemic of stress among parents. The new Surgeon General's advisory says parents are significantly more stressed than the rest of adults. Bradley Blackburn has more on the findings and why the Surgeon General says society needs to change.
Alice Utam gives her daughter the world, but she's raising her a world away from extended family.
So I'm from the UK, my family is there, my husband's family are also abroad, and it's just us. So.
The joy of a 4-year-old also comes with stress, and the Surgeon General is warning parents need more help.
Having time apart from a child is also important, having a break. That's definitely good for mental health.
According to the advisory, nearly half of parents reported that most days their stress is completely overwhelming. The Surgeon General's advisory says our culture needs to change to value and support parents and recognize that raising kids is what keeps the country going.
I think a lot of parents are feeling lonely and isolated.
Psychiatrist Sue Varma says parents need to prioritize their mental health for their own good and their children's. She says with less community and religious engagement and families living farther apart, it takes extra effort to fight loneliness.
What are you doing for connection and conversation with other people? Are you able to just go to a game once a month even and talk to some of the parents?
Mother of 3, Desiree Terry, says she's grateful the Surgeon General is starting an important conversation.
I don't think it's a surprise that parenthood is stressful. I think we've all been feeling it for a really long time, and it's wonderful to actually have some numbers to back it up.
And a reminder that raising the next generation is everyone's concern. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The Surgeon General's advisory supports increased access to paid family leave, improving child care and education, and investing more in mental health care. And that is a look at today's health news. A little later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about what you can share off the barbecue pit.
Plus, we have rain chances, which are increasing. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, another hot one outside for us today, and we have had a few isolated thunderstorms pop up over the past few hours, which you can actually see on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, the kind of ominous looking clouds. And we are going to have those hit and miss storms as we go through the next few hours, and then once we lose the heating of the day, those will calm down. But you can see mid to upper 90s to near 100 degrees once again today, so those heat indices upper 90s to right around 100 degrees. As we go through the evening hours, some isolated storms, 80s, 70s, another warm kind of muggy night across the region. Look at these hit and miss storms, especially along and south of I-44, and nothing too strong, but some thunder and lightning. You can see a little cluster from Joplin into Newton County, one little guy just north of Miami, a few more over toward Coffeyville, Independence, Fredonia, and Neodesha. Again, these will be out there over the next couple hours. Then when we lose the heating of the day, they will dissipate across the region. Other big story, temperatures are going to cool down. Now, it's not going to be tomorrow, but by Friday, we're going to cool back down. So we'll start Thursday, mid to upper 70s. We'll get into lower 90s by noon. Most of us, again, 95, 96, 97 degrees. And again, we're going to have that slight chance for a few isolated storms as we go into the afternoon and evening. Very similar to what we have today. 91 by noon, 94 by 4, high temp right around 96 degrees. Heat index will be up there again. Most of us will climb through the 70s, 80s, into the 90s to near 100 degrees, 102 as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Let's jump into tomorrow evening. We're going to be tracking thunderstorms to our north and to our west. So here's late tomorrow night, 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms get in to start the day on Friday. Hit and miss kind of storms throughout the day. The better chances for thunderstorms during the afternoon are going to be along and south of I-44 on Friday, and then still some hit and miss ones sticking around Friday night. Then we go into Saturday. We start the day Saturday, a few hit and miss storms, and then pop-up thunderstorms again along and south of I-44 as we go into Saturday evening. So we are going to be dodging some storms as we go into the weekend. Rainfall with those thunderstorms. We got to see where those heavier bands set up. But from really tomorrow night into Saturday evening, a lot of areas, half an inch, maybe upwards to an inch. Let's go 84 on Saturday. So notice temperatures 10 to 12 degrees cooler than what we have seen. 88 on Sunday. We are going to be dodging some storms on Saturday and Sunday. So if you are hitting the lakes, let's go up to Stockton. We're going to look at Saturday afternoon. An isolated storm, but better chances for thunderstorms once you get down toward Grand Lake. So you're going to be dodging storms if we head over to Table Rock. So from Branson, Kimberling, Shell Knob, scattered storms dropping south toward Beaver Lake as well. But Sunday and Monday are shaping up pretty good. 96 tomorrow, 87 on Friday, 84 on Saturday. Sunday and Monday look great, and look at the stretch of 80s that stick around the next 10 days.
I hope that stretches out a bit longer than that forecast.
Would be nice, wouldn't it?
We'll find out. Thanks, Doug. Coming up, a study of eye tracking data finds what homeowners look for and what they miss. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the number of so-called 401k millionaires hit a new record high in the second quarter. That's according to Fidelity Investments. The report looked at 24 million accounts across 26,000 employer-sponsored plans. As of June, nearly 500,000 401k accounts had balances of $1 million or more. The average 401k balance across all participants is about $127,000. That average is up 13% from this time last year. New research gives some insight into what home buyers pay attention to when they're viewing a property. As Tina Kraus reports, eye tracking technology is revealing some surprising results.
Buying a home can be a huge financial decision.
Quite the beams.
But experts say some house hunters spend little time scrutinizing potential properties.
A fifth of buyers spend 20 minutes or less viewing a home. and a further chunk of them only view a property once before putting their offer in.
And what buyers focus on may surprise you.
Feels cool in there, maybe because it's just on an outside wall.
New eye tracking technology is giving real estate agents a real-time look at what draws buyers in.
They're spending lots of time on more superficial things, perhaps the art on the walls. We've even seen buyers inspect the food in the fridge.
A Swedish company called Tobii developed the tech.
The glasses have got 4 cameras built into the lenses and a number of illuminators. The cameras pick up this reflection, and then there's some very clever mathematics that work out where you're actually looking from that image.
The second bedroom are quite similar sizes.
The glasses revealed home buyers' blind spots, showing only 38% pay attention to structural elements like floors and ceilings, while 54% are drawn to cosmetic features and furnishings.
But what they really need to be doing is looking at things like the brickwork, looking for signs of condensation or damp, the chimney, the boiler, the electrics, maybe even the Wi-Fi signal.
Realtors say by pinpointing spots people miss, they can better steer buyers toward the home of their dreams. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Researchers found home buyers in Britain spent just 34 seconds looking at a bedroom and just over a minute viewing the kitchen. The FTC says Care.com has agreed to pay $8.5 million to address unlawful practices claims. Care.com connects users with caregivers, housekeeping services, and tutors. But according to the FTC, the company allegedly misled job seekers and posters. Regulators accuse the company of using deceptive design practices to trap consumers in subscriptions. The FTC says the $8.5 million will go to customers who were harmed by the company. Our Pet Vet on Call up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the cleaner and greener way kids are getting to school. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to learn more about a new Missouri law which could freeze property taxes for seniors. Plus, we'll check out the rehearsal for Pitt State's Pride of the Plains marching band. And college volleyball kicks off next week. We're going to see how Pitt State's team is preparing for its season opener. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. A lot of us are going to be preparing outdoor feasts this Labor Day weekend. That brings us to this week's question for our Pet Vet on Call. What barbecue leftovers are okay to give my dog?
Actually, all the meats are okay. All the leftover meats are okay for your dog as long as they're the pure meats. The steaks, the hamburger, the chicken, the fish. The things to avoid are the overly seasoned meats, those doused with barbecue sauces, or the processed stuff like sausages and hot doggy things like brats and stuff. They can actually really make your dog sick. And if you have a lot of leftovers, don't give it all at once. Just give them enough for a snack and spread it out over a few days. It'll make your dog very happy.
Sounds good. Hey, we invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. Hey, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we have Sugary Berry. That's the name, Sugarberry. Sugarberry. Why not? The shelter says she's a Shepherd and Pit Bull mixed puppy. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have this 5-month-old female short-haired cat named Cheddar. Say he's full of energy and loves to play. If you're looking for a pet, why not check out your local Humane Society? There may be a Sugarberry waiting there for you.
There you go.
Weather, it's hot out there, Doug.
It is, and we do have a few isolated thunderstorms we're going to have over the next couple hours, and still a random storm popping up tomorrow afternoon. High temp, 96, so still hot. But then we drop down 80s as we head into the holiday weekend. Some pop-up storms Friday night into Saturday.
Highs in the 80s this time of year sounds really
pretty good.
Nice, doesn't it? Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.